Doug with you, and with the Tuxpop crew,
and welcome to Motor City Comic Con 2015!
Fascinating, that entrance there, but I'm quicker than that. No, but it's a delight to be back here. It's been 6 years since I've been here, and it's always, you get a great welcome from everybody, so I'd like to thank you for that. I've lost my voice as well, probably screaming. But it is, the great excitement now is we're waiting for The Force Awakens, which is coming out in December. And everyone's very thrilled about it. I mean, there's always going to be the people who say, oh, it's going to be a load of rubbish, it's going to be like episode 2, or this is going to be a good film, and I'm really looking forward to it. So how many hands up are looking forward to and think it's going to be a good one? 2. No, it's cracking, that's absolute full house. That's really good. Now, what I'm going to do, just briefly for fun, is to have, if I can have 3 people in the front here. It's all right, don't worry. Can we have 3 people up here? Yes. Is that the green house?
Yeah.
Come on, I've got it right colour. Yeah. Those are really neat. Yes. The hands are. Now, what I'm going to do, because everyone says it's always very difficult to act in this, and everybody can act, everybody can do something, you know. So what we're going to do now is, by one first person is going to perform. We're going to get you to be an actor, but not to think about the people there. It's just to walk around and start talking. It's absolutely, you don't have to know the language, so we'll start with you because you're brave.
No.
This is just a fun. So what I'd like you to do is just walk up and down, follow me, and then you walk up and down, you're thinking. Now you start talking. And we've got, as an audience, we have to believe what you're saying. So let's say you're here, and you walk away, and you say, I see. Now, we ask you to come here at 4 o'clock. I can't make 4 o'clock. That's the end of it. I don't want to be here. Do you understand? So you're just raising people think what's going on. But it's just that people believe you, what you're doing. And that's what's got to come across. Ready? Hell! But you make it up.
Okay.
It's for you to say, you can mumble away, then raise your voice up, and then you can go up to someone and say, now your name's Scott, isn't it?
Yes.
How did I know that? Because he's got a badge. No. No, but it's going to be all yours, walking up there. And you two will be next. Right, okay? So just lots of...
What should I start?
Yeah. Just walk up and down, be pacing. And I'm not going to say anything now until you've finished your piece.
Okay. They're not even here. Why am I here at 4 o'clock? I have no idea why I'm here. They don't even want me to be here.
Taking center stage, you must keep going.
He wants me to perform here. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never acted before. This is nuts. I'm here at 4 o'clock to do this and walk around in front of strangers. This is awesome. Okay.
Now it's your turn.
Same thing.
No, not same thing. Do you remember all those lines she had?
Yeah.
You do? You remember them all?
No.
Well, it's brilliant. Good. So this one, we want you to go around here. Same thing, or different, whatever you want. This is really very good for you to just pick up and you make up the words, but we've got to believe exactly what you say. Okay? Off you go. Action.
Where's everybody at? They said they would be here. They're not here. Why am I the only one here? Who are all these people? I don't even know you. Ah!
Good, yes. You're not getting your applause until the end,
Okay.
because that sounded like a screaming jet at the end. So why did you put that in? That's just...
I was going for frustration.
Good, well done. Now explain the rest of it. It looks as though you were throwing rubbish into the very beginning bit.
That one I have no clue. I was just going for it.
That was good. Very good indeed. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
And that will do. And finally, you're the green arrow.
Yeah.
So am I. Good. This is amazing. Right, for you, we'll go around that way.
Around that way.
Scottish accent.
All right.
Would you like me to do a Scottish accent?
Yeah, that'd be good.
So the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting across. I'm getting very cross with a lot of people here because they're not making me inviting to play say a few words and that. But him, well, no, he's gone. Green Arrow, I thought he was here a second ago, but it's best that he goes along in his own. You start it all.
Okay.
It's a little play up and down. Because I'm Scottish, ladies and gentlemen. Right, off you go.
All right. Well, my name is Oliver Queen, and for 5 years I have protected my city. And now I must become something else. I must become someone else.
Very good. No, that's very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Very good. That's good. Thank you. Where does she come from? Of course you're doing... I'm sorry. Thanks, guys. That was brilliant. That's just a little part. Many years ago, I was 14, and we had to do several parts like that, learning to pick up on languages and making up a scene, and that would be recorded and sent to people around the BBC, ITV, that you could get a part by just being truthful and real. So it sort of works well. But it's awful when I talk about dialogue and learning lines, and it's very funny. I remember when I took Han Solo up into the carbonate, into Slave 1, and this was my opening line, and I had to say, "Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold." Well, they started, I said, the director was saying, "All right, stand by, Jeremy, everything okay?" I said, "Yes, fine. Here we go. And action." "What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me. Put Captain Cargo in the soap." And I put my hands up like this over the helmet and was talking to myself saying, I can't possibly have said that. I've got about 6 lines and I've completely mucked this up. And I sat there and I said, I can't believe it. So I was ready for them to say, "Jeremy, what are you saying? What's that?" But they didn't. They just ignored. They said, "Thank you, Jeremy. We'll see you later. You've got the other scene later on. Thank you." And I was going up and down the corridor of the studio and I think, I said that. Did I say it? Did I not? But I did. Put Captain Cargo in the soda. I mean, how pathetic is that? I managed to get away with it, but it does happen. You have to do that. It was great. So, any fans here of Doctor Who? Oh yes, there were quite a lot. Yeah. No, it's funny because it's suddenly becoming very big back in England. It's going back, it's becoming very big, and I remember doing one with William Hartnell. I think I was 18, and I played tour of this Xeron, strange thing, but the set, as you walked past them, would shake, and they were in a terrible state. And they said, just keep going. And there was always the whispering, because it was virtually live, just keep going. If it wobbles the set, it doesn't matter. If the script reading is good, then no one will ever know. And that's what used to happen. The sets weren't good. But now, of course, Doctor Who's favoured all over the world. So it's pretty good. There's, does anybody know Robin of Sherwood? 2 people. Oh, 2.5, that's good. No, yeah, I must tell you this story. Yeah. Might be able, if you could hear me. No, I was asked to come for this audition for Robin of Sherwood. And it was very exciting because I'd be firing a bow and arrow and terrific, this is going to be wonderful. And I remember being there, and this armourer phoned up and said, "Are you Jeremy Bulloch?" I said, "Well, no, not Jeremy Bulloch, Jeremy Bulloch." "Yeah, well, never mind, I don't like actors anyway. I've got to teach you to fire a bow and arrow in about 5 minutes. Get up to the church. Off the church, you go into the big, huge castle, and that's where I'll be with a target. And I want you to look good, because it's my reputation." And I thought, why is he being so rude? I haven't asked for anybody to do me any favours. Anyway, up I got the train, went up to the hotel, and they said, "You're the actor, aren't you? Remember before? I don't like actors, and I've never liked them. You've got to learn to fire this bow and arrow in minutes." I said, "Well, yes, of course." I felt myself sort of almost saying, "Yes, Your Majesty." And here he came. Here was the target. And he said, "Right, watch what I do. You can learn from this and look really good in minutes." I'm thinking, what's the matter? Is he going to suddenly laugh and say, "I'm terribly sorry, I just thought there was a giggle"? No, nobody was. He was serious. So there we go. He said, "Right, now watch this. I've got a quiver. I didn't want to have the quiver with the arrows, but here's the quiver. Out comes the arrow." And he finally just got the end of the target. I said, "Well, that was good. Now you follow that. Follow what I've done. Pull that out, up." And I hit the bull. He turned his head like this. "You trying to be funny?" I said, "No, I'm not. It was beginner's luck." I suspect it was, that's what he said. Right, you hit the centre of the target, but you don't look like an archer." "Oh, well, maybe we'll be able to improve on that." And he said, "Just listen to what I'm saying." And I thought, why is he so grumpy? Maybe, anyway, I must behave. And so he said, "Here we go again." Right. Out comes the arrow, quiver, and he's hit the side of the bull. I said, "Oh, that was terrific. Now, this is your chance. This is your chance to look good." Out comes that. Right, follow me. Oh, right, yes, sorry. And I hit the side of the bull, exactly the same as him. "Have you ever fired a bow and arrow before?" I said, "Well, fun enough, yes, I have." "When?" I said, "Well, many years ago." "I mean, many years ago, you're barely 18. No, I said, "Well, I was about 14, something like that. You couldn't possibly have fired a bow and arrow like that. I'm going to do it once more." And he fired this thing. And he was in such a state, the whole string went up, the arrow went up over the roof, crashing into the thing. He said, "What are you doing? I can't work with you." And I thought, I haven't done anything. And this is what you have to do. You have to bite your lip and pretend that everything's okay. These things happen, but he was really not a very nice person. But you have to go through that. Right, some questions from the audience. This illustrious audience. Sir.
How did you learn the part of Boba?
How did I learn it? Landed. Very simple. It was funny because my half-brother was associate producer on the first one, on the first film. And he said, "Jeremy, there's a part that's come up. It's nothing. It's a couple of days' work, maybe. I said, "Well, I'm in the theatre. I've got to get back to the theatre if you were filming." And he said, I said, "Well, surely, can we do something like..." He said, "No, I don't think it will happen." But then it suddenly happened, out of the blue. They said, well, would you go down? It's half a day. You'll get back to the theatre to be able to do the play, don't worry. And before I knew I was, Monday morning, I was called in, put the outfit on, and it took about an hour to dress and everything. And they said, well, I went to see George Lucas, walked onto the set, stood there, looking menacing, of course. And they said, George, and George Lucas looked round and said, yeah, well, looks good. Well, welcome aboard. It's not a big role, but yeah, I think you'll have fun. I thought, well, I haven't learned my lines. There's no, little did I know, as you could see earlier on, I had no lines at all, virtually. But that's how it happened. It just totally out of the blue, and I was in the theatre, which is dangerous because you've got to get to the theatre by a certain time. So, all in all, I was extremely lucky. And suddenly, on the Monday, there I was in this outfit. And when I saw it, I thought, this looks rather good, as part. So you're doing two jobs at once, which is rare. So I was extremely lucky.
Toxic Pop has a new Facebook page. Like it to see pictures and keep informed about our upcoming events and videos. A link is in the description. Go to www.facebook.com/toxicpop1.